Hello there, then Crackbook, and then uploaded and on my Twitter channel in probably about an hour or so. Well, it's the 27th of June 2019, and as I've said on previous lives, every time you see me, I am a whole new person. Every energy, every piece of my connective tissue, my organs, my energy, my spirit, soul is renewed in microseconds, as are all of yours. As most of you know, my real career, real world, is that I'm a coach. That's who I am and what I was doing before Aaron and Faith were stolen, taken, evaporated, disappeared, erased, kidnapped, abducted. All I know is they're not in my life right now, and it's really fucking difficult to live with. And I don't know where they are. And the 2 police officers and 2 social workers walked off with my kids. I was thrown into a court, and yeah, it was the most horrendous, horrible experience that I believe potentially is ever lived, because it's a secret torture that goes on slowly every day, as is living with EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, for those of you who don't know, which is the connective tissue disorder that I have in my physical body. And then the mental mind of myself battles with the world that exists out there, and the perception that I see of the world, and the way that I wish the world was in relation to the world that I see before me. Some amazing guy called Hans Asperger's did a lot of research on the brain, and he had a look at the difference in brains if you divide our learning styles into categories on how we learn and how we function. I'm just letting you know somebody else is in the room. So if you take all our different learning categories and the way that we all learn, we as human beings are different. It's as simple as that. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can say about it. There's not, as you walk down the streets looking at all of these differences, it's because we're different. However, I will give you a very funny experience today, and I would like your honest opinion on something that Dean and I witnessed today that really sort of set Dean on fire and gave me much food for thought. So, to all you women out there, I ask you, if you saw a man with a really cute ass but was wearing a skirt, how would you feel about this? And if you're a man and you saw amazing legs in a short skirt, and then saw the front of this person and realized it was a man in a very short kilt skirt. And I'm not talking about a Scottish man walking down with his bagpipes. I'm talking about whether or not we can say it's right or wrong what an individual does based on what they want to do. Now, you know that I've all had massive amount of trolling since announcing that I rollerblade, because EDS people can't roller skate apparently. So that's somebody else's perception and understanding from their own reflection of their own mind, their own understanding, own education, their experiences. If they can't see outside the box of themselves and they are so focused on themselves, then they can't see from your point of view. We have empathy and we have sympathy, but we don't have actual cognitive understanding of somebody else's point of view. Now, one of the reasons that I've said on my live is it's a goodbye, is that this is now goodbye for my direct contact with any parent that is currently in court proceedings. And I will be connected to those such as myself who are forced adoptions, where we don't have any, like, in court, our lives are what they are. But I will only be working, and I say working is that I am willing to coach your program, and yes, it is going to be for free. And the reason that it is going to be for free is because this has never been done before. And the reason that this has never been done before is there is no trauma counselling that exists for disenfranchised grief. And the reason it doesn't exist is because we are an underground world that nobody has come in to experiment on us, to understand how this trauma has affected us, per se. They have only just in this country put in trauma therapy for children of sexual abuse. That's how far behind psychology and our planet, our world, is in understanding the traumas that the people are going through in the direct communication from top, middle and bottom. In the time that a university has funding and budget to look at a mean mode and meridian possibility of an outcome, what's called as hypothesis. I've talked to you about SPS data. I mean, Dean laughed his freaking socks off when I explained to him that all of these diagnoses exist for the DSM-5, which is American, and we are English, and it's done on a sample of 100 people to test the balance of probability that if this trauma exists, then this is how the person is going to react to it. Now, you can't say that each individual will react in